elegant little sonata with a lovely tune. Scarlatti was, of course, a Baroque composer, so harpsichord was the main thing. Maybe by the end of his life there would have been something called the forte piano, which was sort of the precursor to this. But it's very likely this was composed on a harpsichord. So in order to make it sound more of a Baroque style, it's nice to detach every quaver. I mean, you have to let go anyway because it's a repeated note for some of the notes. But keep your right hand nice and smooth. Because the tune's here, you have to push a bit more with your right hand, and left hand, just don't lift too far up or you might be too loud. Stay quite close to the keys and then it will be nicely soft in relation to the melody. My biggest tip for this piece is to make sure you've got every note ready for the whole bar. So don't just go one note at a time and keep your hand close together. You can spread for bar one and be ready, have every note underneath your hand. A nice octave stretch. If you can't quite do an octave, still kind of have it quite stretched and then do a little hop so you can reach it. Bar 5 and bar 6 are a bit scary because you have to do this big jump, but at least you're copying the same pattern an octave higher. There's a few fingering options they've written on here, or you can do your own fingering. One of my students prefers to do exactly the same fingering on the second octave, otherwise it's a bit confusing. So that's absolutely fine. You kind of need to think ahead. And then we have a really lovely grace note into a triplet. So you kind of squash the two notes together, but then hold the big one, get rid of the little note. And I call triplets pineapples. Pineapple. And then both hands are going to go staccato together and lift off. The next bit has lovely dynamics, so make sure you do this. Go really, really quiet. And gradually crescendo. Really push. Bounce, bounce. And that next bar there, bar 12, your right hand holds while your left hand bounces. So that's a bit hard to get your head round. Then get really quiet, nice diminuendo there. And then the second half is very, very similar structurally to the first half, but we're playing it in a different key. But the same idea for the little tune and for the broken chords going up the piano, and the rhythm and the sort of tiny crescendo at the end is the same. So do lots of hand separate work for this piece because the right hand is quite complicated. Luckily the left hand isn't, so that's good. But do lots of hand separate and then get really good dynamics and nice staccato, and it will sound properly Baroque. Here's a slow motion performance for you now.